welcome back. Gonna give it a second for the bandwidth to look like it evens out for us to show up, which we just did. Nice. So we're back at it. This is effectively going to be episode 5 of a Legends and PTR, and it's the Legends beta, the most, actually not the most recent one. There was one that just came out that I don't want to toss into the mix for possible conflict or bug. But most recent versions of the Legends beta and the PTR mods, which modifies the perk chains and groupings that are in Legends mod. And the Legends mod does quite a bit of neat stuff. Layered armors, much more control over map gen, much more interesting perk trees overall, so that there's a lot less repetition, which kind of falls into the way that I like to play. So it gives you just more of an RPG, I think, style to it. So we're playing the Black Company. That's an homage to Glenn Cook's line of grimdark fantasy books of the same name, and there's several other names, but they're all about the Black Company. And one of the little pieces that we're doing to try to track with that is renaming the characters as we go. If a character is with the party and makes level 2, we're going to give him a name from the books, which everyone has, I believe, at this point, except for Odo, who is 6 experience away from becoming a named man of the Black Company. And if any of you have read Joe Abercrombie books, which is what I was on before Glenn Cook, you might appreciate the reference to named men. And if you don't, you should go pick up the First Law trilogy from Glenn Cook, because it's really pretty good stuff, as is most everything else he wrote in that world. So we are on day 34. We have discovered, I think, all 3 of the kingdoms, of which we are enemies with House Ulbrich, because we are a Deserter's Origin start, and they are still miffed that we decided to leave their service and go ply our own trade on the roads. What that has let us do is get a bit of benefit by raiding caravans and an occasional peasant party to keep the party supplied. We have an ambition, which is to defeat 5 packs of roving beasts. We haven't seen many, so we killed the one that we did run into. And we just recently finished a small quest to get down to Tabenmoose. It was a delivery job, so we did a bit of DoorDash, and we're in a good financial position at this point from a combination of fortunate caravan raids and other successful quests. We are likely in a position that we should try to fill out our roster. We also just recently received another renown bump, and one of the things in Legends mod is that your renown relates to the size of the party that you can field. We most recently jumped from a possible of 10 to 12. So we have a crazy poacher, a butcher, a beast slayer, who could be fairly skilled. It would be about half our cash. He's a little expensive. We also have a hunter who would join on board with a hunting bow. Right now we have a balanced amount of backline guys to frontline guys. I don't know that we want to add directly another backliner unless we wanted to go board and spear for Odo. Which Feels like it's almost a Black Company name, but I don't believe it is. So, I'm going to do a tryout on Cholo. I'm not even going to. 219. So, pragmatic. Doesn't like to hit the head. That's interesting. Fear of Nobles. Tough. He's got buffs on fatigue, initiative, and melee skill. Sounds alright. I don't know if he's worth the price of admission, though. He has a boar spear, which is partially probably why he's expensive as he is. And he's level 2 off the bat. I don't like the, I'm not going to hit the guys in the head because I prefer to stab them in the body. That just doesn't feel all that great. I don't think he's worth half our cash or 2/3 of our cash, nearly. So, we're going to pass. There were some better characters up to the north of us in a larger city, so I think we may want to go that route. Take a quick look at the available armor. We're fairly well prepared. Like leather, padded leather isn't going to do us any good. We could probably upgrade Odo's headgear slightly if we chose to, but he's also not a named man in the party, so I think he needs to survive on his laurels. Let's have a look at the one other thing that we could consider doing, about twice as expensive as it needs to be, is bumping up our crossbowman to a regular crossbow and getting the damage bump there. Gotta double check. His perks, I don't think he has a damage buff on the crossbow itself. He's got the power shot with staggers. He's got 20% additional across all in iron sights. And that's different from the short bowmen who have some poacher style perks that are really based around the short bow or the boondock bow, or the wonky one if we chose to go that route. Which makes, I think, upgrading them to a hunting bow a little less attractive. I think their perks alone even it out for the most part. And so, let's take a look at the kind of quests that we have. They have disappearing villagers. I'd assume one of these is going to be a beast hunting quest. We step into Frontliac, the trade master's room, and he shoves a map into your face. Sellsword, time for you to go exploring. See this uncharted spot southwest of here in the region of the Ghost Hills? That's where I need you to go in search of the forgotten mass grave. Do you accept or not? The right price? 480 crowns and the contract is done. I'm going to accept that offer. We're going to take some time to think about it and evaluate the other. Benary the elders listening to the talk of a few peasants when you find them. When they see you, they quickly depart, leaving the man with a satchel in hand. He holds it up. There's crowns in here. Crowns that those people are giving me to give someone, anyone, to help us. People are disappearing, Sellsword. And when they're found, they're not just dead, but mangled, mutilated. Everyone is too scared to go anywhere. He stares into the sack and then he looks at you. I'd hope you're interested in this task. Let's talk pay. Puts a hand on your shoulder, smiles reaffirmingly. I think I know adequate compensation for your services. You're to receive 190 crowns in advance and another 770 when it's done. I'm going to try to get paid a bit more. He sighs, 210 in advance and 850 when it's done. We're going to accept that. And we're going to accept that contract off the bat so that we can go get that done. The drunk scavenger told us you try to wrestle a weapon beset with gems from a dead man's hands some way to the southeast. His grip was like a vice. It's possible that's the same location that we need to go search out for the other quest, I would guess. Do we want to bring a beast slayer on along for a beast hunt? Not sure. Apologize. I flip poker chips and occasionally do so poorly. So, I don't know. Two debuffs, 2/3 of our cash. I don't think so. So, that was interesting. I think that other quest said it was in the region of the Ghost Hills, so the location we need to find is probably like right around here. Let's see if we get some beast tracks. We do. We got 12 web necks. Now there's another group of mercenaries. We could potentially, I think, draw the web necks into battle with both of us. Take a little help from a friend, which we might as well do. I don't know how they surprised us when we watched them come in, and we did get the support from the mercenaries, who look fairly decently equipped. A couple of them. There's a hedge knight. We have no shot, so we're going to wait. Croaker has a shot on 2 different web necks. He misses. Darling should have about the same. We're going to shoot an aim shot out at this guy. That's a good hit on him. So some of these mercenaries are weak. We're going to just hold the line. So if we want to move this spearman up to protect, we're going to drop you back. Finish off that web neck with a javelin throw. We need to protect this flank. Gonna hold, let them come. I have a feeling we're gonna get somebody coming in from this side, so I'm gonna move a spearman towards that area. There we go. There are a number of them. One dead. Not sure how well our mercenary front line is going to fare here. And my archers are kind of relying on it, which isn't awesome. We're going to hope for his DPS wins the day. One web neck down. Nice job, gents. Is that a glaive? Okay, so hang up. Gonna send an aim shot. We don't have any clean shots. Good move here. We'll get off a simple shot. Gonna do that. Back up the hedge knight. Kind of a bad position. It's all blocked, so I'm gonna get our polearm around to support Elmo. We need to get Elmo a better melee weapon. Still rocking like a first tier hatchet, and that's just not awesome. Yeah, that was smart. is proving to be pretty dang deadly. Try to keep this guy alive. Work out. I think we are going pretty dominant here on a DPS basis. Get that one off of Agap so he could continue to send arrows. Oh, there's a fire. That's interesting. Not sure how that happened. Must have missed it. Somebody threw like a incendiary. Into the fray. Okay, so that guy's setting people on fire. An interesting trick. Everything looks the same about him. Not going to release the hound, as he might run right into that fire. Not certain as to his astuteness. Looks as if the remaining spiders may run. Kind of interesting to think of spiders having morale. Just doesn't normally seem like that might be a dot that would connect. But it is what it is. You get a clean shot. Gonna move in. Gotta get to the eggs. call it done. Like, spiders really retreat. I suppose in a fantasy universe they could have a greater degree of cognitive capability that I would think they might have a sense of self-preservation, but overall, spiders I have met don't seem to have that high on their lists. The mercenaries scour the fields, hacking and sawing at the spider's stiff remains to take back to Benere the Elder. Even in death, the webnecks are ghastly, looking only a moment away from flinching back to life and wrapping themselves around the nearest breathing animal. Their horrifying features and surreal size does not stop some sellswords from dancing around, licking their tongues and hissing, and all around preying upon the phobias of those less inclined to go near the thing. Thanks for Iron Ravens. You don't think you can fit the spider's corpse into Benere the Elder's room, so instead you slap it against his window from the outside. You hear a horrified scream and the clatter of falling furniture. A moment later, the adjacent window is thrown open and a townsman leads out. Oh, very rich, sellsword, very rich. May the old gods serve you 1,000 years of idle time for that one. Nodding, you ask about your pay, and he begrudgingly tosses you a satchel. 850 crowns is in there. Now take that awful thing and go. Gain 850, and Tavamboos no longer has disappearing villagers. Successful hunt. We're going to go back in, and we need to find a mass grave to the southwest around the Ghost Hills. We're going to accept that, because the Ghost Hills are like right outside the door. So, it shouldn't be that hard. We got a retired soldier has showed up in town, and another deserter. Howdy, gent. Superstitious, short-sighted, gluttonous, and kind of crappy. You're a man after our own hearts, but I don't believe we're gonna let you in. Let's go. These are the Ghost Hills. What did it say? Southwest? I think the tavern guy said southeast. You would think you should locate it rather quickly. Should be an easy 500. The prestige and renown of the Black Company is growing everywhere you go. People are looking to join, and not just sellswords, but followers who may be of other use. Take a look at our retinue. We have 2 spots. Watcher's Totem. People of the woods and the hinterlands swear that the presence of this totem grants good fortune to those around it, somehow preventing sickness and accidents as long as it's in the camp. It sounds like farking nonsense, but it keeps them happy. Reduces movement penalty of bad terrain by 15%. Prevents sickness and accidents due to terrain. Have at least one of these backgrounds. That's not too bad. We can board it. Might be a thing. Stolen documents. The nobles and merchants are sloppy with the security, and their underlings are easily intimidated. A well-placed bribe, brawl, or a set of light fingers can keep you informed on who's taking what where. Makes you see the position of some caravans at all times, even outside of your sight radius. Now that's potentially more interesting. Let's finish off this quest. See where we land cash-wise. Actually, really don't like these because I tend to almost never find it on my own without having a secondary event that tells me that I am wandering around aimlessly and I should go in some other direction. And they did say Ghost Hills. They did say Southwest. I would imagine the Ghost Hills could extend to there, but being that the name is right here, I think of these as the hills themselves. Sticking to high ground, we got a new name down here, so that should not be Ghost Hills. Just trying to get up on some hill terrain so we can get some. Yeah, we're donkeys. A group of world-weary explorers, they seize up in the middle of the road, half covered in mud, half in leaves, and all in an unintentional camouflage. One rubs his forehead, eyeing you carefully before a smile widens. I know a searcher when I see one. You're looking for the forgotten master brave, ain't you? Well, you're in luck. We was just coming from there. Here, give me your map and I'll show you just where it is. You see on the hills, not too far to the west of where we are now. Much appreciated. And I was about to find it, so I don't know why you needed to tell me that I wasn't doing it well. It's already time to return to Frontliac the Trademaster, as Forgotten Masquerade was easier to find than you figured. Marking it on your map, you pause and chuckle and shake your head. What luck. Ancient auxiliaries, some ancient legionaries, Necro Savant. I not like the Necro Savants. Those Webnecks counted as another pack of beasts. That was nice. Need to food up though. We have a fair amount of equipment. Have Moose's wealth or another feature of the Legends mod that they track that. Probably like the trade master welcomes you back. You hand over your recently illustrated map and he pores over it, swatting the spotted mark with the back of his hand. Of course that's where it is. He smirks and pays you what you are owed. We gain 480 and 41 experience. Well deserved. That should mean, yep, Odo is now part of the clan. He becomes a named man. We're gonna, well, this is a lesser known character, at least, or seems to be, in the book that I'm reading. We're gonna call him Knuckles from the Black Company, the first book. What can we give him? So, he's got range skill, should, and we're going to buff his range skill. Give him phalanx, bags and belts, 9 lives, cover, smashing shields, push it. Take aim. Pointy end. Fruits of labor. Hit points, maximum fatigue, and initiative are increased by 10% each. Hit points would that be? You'd get 6.7. Fatigue. He's gonna get, I think that's a no-brainer. I believe that's a PTR perk. And I have to continue to kind of say I think the PTR perks might be a little overpowered because that's a big level 1 buff. Although it is just fatigue, initiative, and otherwise. We're going to go ahead and take that. Yeah. We're going to take our buff on range attack because I think eventually we're hoping he will be a ranged attacker. In the meantime, I think we're going to take, particularly now that we have a modifier on it, we're going to take our high modifiers to both health and initiative, which should gain an extra 10% on top for every buff we add there. That's pretty strong. Now we picked up some web valuables from the Webnecks. throwing that. So Tom, what are we going to do perk-wise for Tom? So far, he's been mainly a spearman. We don't have the option to give him that's kind of interesting one. Line breaker. Rush of battle. Whenever you're attacked, hit or miss, stacking 5% reduction of fatigue of skills during your next turn. Fatigue cost of skills during your next turn. They're up to a maximum of 20. X mastery. So he is the lumberjack. We need to get him an X. I think we have. Yeah, we do. Gonna be stabbing anybody with a dagger anytime soon. I see a lot of the guys that run speed runs stab people with daggers to try to like maximize the value of the armor that we might pull, but it doesn't seem necessary. Seems extra. A little bit better of a backup melee weapon. All right. So, where were we at? We're figuring out what to do with Tom. So we've taken an axe buff already. We can do axe mastery, polearm mastery. I think this rush of battle perk just seems strong. And that if you're under attack, you get up to a 20% reduction in fatigue cost. It seems pretty solid, and it doesn't sound like it departs. It's just during the next turn. Okay. But still, I think that is potentially useful for one of the guys that are using somewhat defensively. So, we're going to go fatigue, melee defense. And ranged attack. Now that we have him over 50, it wouldn't be bad if we could get him a set of javelins as well to join his fellows who are a little more skilled, but it may assist. Gonna head into Tavamoose. See if they'll take these web valuables. They will, for a pretty good price. We shall take. So, not doing great on provisions. We're going to camp, I think, and do a bunch of supplies. We're just going to do that overnight, and then we'll see what happens. So we're going to drop into camp. We have a bunch of stuff queued up for salvage. Add a couple more things to that. Pretty much everything. It's 22 hours of salvaging. We have one guy on producing arrows. One guy on patrolling. We don't really have much to do otherwise. Do we have anybody hanging out? We do not. We're going to take that. Camp overnight. It's mostly about cleaning out our inventory, getting some tools. Dawn brakes and created 11 units of ammo, 21 units of tools. Get moving. Still have a fair bit of stuff to work through. Hit rate seems to be jumping around, so apologies. Mountain-based internet is never great, or at least never to be relied upon. So we're going to pick up a little food for the trip. We're going to grab the fish and the grain. And why not some venison as well? Guys kind of deserve a decent menu. Necromancer's Refuge. Yeah, I don't think we want to yet. I do think we're going to grab Croker a better crossbow. Which should improve his ability to support his fellows. Sell off the old one. We're gonna head over to Finstermark. We haven't been there in a while. This is generally friendly territory. It's the first couple towns that we performed mercenary services for. I kind of circle down here and just open up this corner of the map. Always found I like to do just that. Clear the fog of war, essentially. When we can. Want to get into Finstermark before nightfall. Prospering city. Good group of guys to recruit from. Fellows. I was just in tavern drunk. So they have a taxidermist. We can get some armor for the dog. Iron will potion. Gonna go ahead and get the dog some armor. He's served us well so far. Can't rename dogs, can you? We have some mercenaries. Swordmaster, we're now a retired soldier. We have a wild one. Fletcher. Ghost Orkbait. Another lumberjack. Give him a try out. Hate for greenskin. Good. Superstitious. Pragmatic. Crappy buffs. Really just looking for a little better skill spread at the beginning here. Sure footing. Charming. 2-star melee, 1-star initiative. I think Roger the Axe is a company. The other guy might be interesting. Guntram. Determined. He's a pessimist. Wait a second. He's determined. There's always going to be At confident mod if permitted, but it fades away fast. So he's a determined pessimist. And his resolve, and he's disloyal. Don't trim that man. You could have just played along a little better. Could have been a team player. Like, could have worked out. But you had to take it that way, didn't you? So I think just for numbers and for evenness of the line, I'm going to hire on both of these lumberjacks. Maybe. I really just, I want more men on the line. We're going to have a look. So we have boards for both of them. We can do. We're both wielding hatchets. And they have crappy headgear. So give them full Acatons. That's a little bit better than what they're wearing now. Gives them a basis to build from. What's their base gear? They're both wearing added surcoats. So we have a Gambison. We have 2 Gambisons to spare. One that needs to go through repairs. Watch sure there's not an armorer. Another 600. We can get them decent 100 gear. He has 82 fatigue, 86. So we're going to give the guy with higher fatigue, better, or heavier outer layer. We're going to drop padded armor onto ghosts. And lastly, we're going to grab them both Nicotin hats. Those took a pretty good chunk of our cash to get these guys into the mix, but we're up to a line of 6 and a party of 10. All right. Sorry, just thinking out loud. Not really 100% clear on the reserve mechanic in this mod and how it works. It's a learning process. Always is. Live and learn, grow. I think we may, since we just spat out all of our cash, we have 35 tools. That should be enough to clean up for ourselves over the next couple battles. Kind of Let's see what kind of quest it is. We enter Finstermark and a man immediately approaches, trundling through the mud to get you to you. He announces himself as someone in the employ of Adrian the Elder, a man of some power in this town, and he, along with the thoughts and monies of others, have decided to seek your service. All ears, servant bids you wait for Adrian the Elder, and he says he will be right with you. So you wait and wait and wait, and finally, as you're about to leave for the second time, Adrian the Elder throws open the doors and rushes towards you. Who's this again? The mercenary? His assistant nods, and Adrian the Elder sets on a smile. Oh, most fortuitous to have you in Finstermark, good captain. It is imperative that some precious commodities of mine reach Kaltenhof as safely and as quickly as possible. You are precisely who I need, for no common brigand would dare attack you and your men. Yes, I'd like to hire you for an escort. Make sure the items are delivered to Adelbad, the Burgermeister. No detours, of course. Can we come to an understanding? You're going to pay us 80. We're going to ask for a little more. He says be reasonable. We're headed that direction anyways. Additionally, I'm going to clear our inventory. The interest of being able to just buffer our cash a little bit. Make some room to acquire some stuff. Gives us a couple hundred extra. We're going to grab one more bag of grain. And we're going to head to Kaltenhof, which is up here to the north. But similarly, I am going to get over to the edge here. Try to clear the fog of war as we go. Night's going to fall and make it a little bit more difficult. Goblin shares tales around the campfire of northern heroics and monsters. There can't be much said of the dialogue, even given that Brute isn't the most eloquent, but the story is well conveyed through miming and drawing in the ground. One tale speaks to a friendly unhold. The company gasp at the very notion of it. But the barbarian slaps at wrists and wags a finger. This you assume is a way of telling you it's all true, every word or grunt. The idea of a friendly monster unsettles the mercenaries initially, but by the end of the story they clap and nod as though they wish it were really the truth. Little camaraderie around the fire. We're going to have trouble clearing all of the map as we go, but we're getting some done. We can circle back and get that just because I'm OCD like that with almost everything. Lad, the Burgermeister is waiting for you as you enter the town. He hurriedly takes the cargo off your hands. Oh, I did not think you would get here. His grubby fingers dance along the chest carrying the cargo. He turns around and barks an order to one of his men. They step forward and hand you a satchel of crowns. Second. Coffee is key. Brownsville dessert. Kaltenhof is some small huts and buildings for the workers in the nearby mines. Take a look at who we have to hire. It's brawlers, miners, messenger, and apprentice. No one that seems terribly interesting. To fill out our final 2 spots. Have a look at contract. Nicholas, the treasurer, is reading one of his many scrolls. He angrily tosses it onto a pile of others. The people of Keltenhof are rightly furious. Do you know a brigand, possibly in league with other vagabonds, managed to steal my demonic statuette from us? That artifact is of immeasurable value to me and to the people, of course. You shrug. And you want me to get it back for you? The man points a finger. Precisely, smart sellsword. That is exactly what I want you to do. Follow the footprints of the thievery and return to me the item which the town, rightfully owns. It's worth to you. Rest assured, what I'm offering is a fine prize for your work. You'll be paid $150 in advance and another $600 when the job's done. Need more. Do not push me too far. I'll take your cash. So the thieves are wandering to the north. That will support our desire to clear map. There's 17 of them. This is going to be a scuffle. And it's brigand thugs, which are a little more capable. They're going around, so we're going to face them to this side and see if we can catch up to them. The contract thing is in a pretty inconvenient spot. Now we're going to get them in the high ground before night sets in and messes with our ranged attackers. Just as your employer had thought, they looked scared, presumably understanding that Nicholas, the treasurer's well-paid wrath, is about to descend upon them. 2 arms. Plethora of brigand thugs and a few poachers. Hope we have the high ground. We sort of do. It's I think it's essentially just going to work out to be a battle on flat land. So these big threshing mace guys are probably nearly the most dangerous guys here. They don't really have much in the way of ranged attack. They have 2 slingers. There are 17 of them, though. We're going to hold fire on the ranged guys. One thing I would like to do is get him to higher ground. I don't think they're going to advance far enough to worry about spear walls and the like. I think this is just going to be opportunity. I think we got a headshot there. Nice shots by Haggup. Darling does well as well. Broker. Drop him in a spear wall just in case those guys on the bottom can make it up. Don't really have any javelin attacks to make, so we'll hold. think we're going to advance the line. Use part way. Got that crossbow bolt by his shield. Got to support effort. Shut off unobstructed. Forward, keep the line moving. These guys are going to be able to hit from 2 tiles. Really need to That's unfortunate. I was a little worried about you guys. You got through, but they didn't cause much damage. All armed guy does okay. Broker fired his new crossbow. That's our new recruit. Hopefully he makes it to 2nd level so we can make him a named man. Spear work by One Eye. Goblin. We only have 1 javelin left. Shut up. Can't switch. He got back his confidence and got off 2 shots at us. Darling breaks a thresher by killing one of them. Croaker hits. Gonna move up. Gotta concentrate on the new guy. Probably should have chopped a shield there. Really have any clean shots? Gotta move up. Break the morale of second of the thugs. And the dog does the rest. Nice. I don't know how the slinger is still confident things are going to go well. They did not. I think we should be able to work out the rest of these guys pretty easily. Nice successful battle. Very little damage. Nothing much in ways of loot, but the contract reward is pretty decent. We'll take it. Well, you found those responsible for stealing the demonic statuette and put them to the sword. Now you just need to put the demonic statuette back into Nicholas the Treasurer's hands and get your reward. We're off to collect our pay. And we're out of arrows. Nicholas the Treasurer takes the demonic statue from you, hugging it close as though he's retrieved a lost child. His eyes get a little teary just looking at his artifact. Thank you, Sellsword. This means a lot to me. I mean, the town. You have our gratitude. He pauses as you stare at him. His eyes bounce to a corner of the room. Our gratitude, Sellsword. A large wooden chest is opened by a guard, and you count the crowns to go. You gain 600. Observe. So it's night. Looks like Agap has jumped a level, as has one of the new guys. So that another level. We're going to make him a named man of the Black Company, which means he gets a name from the books, although this isn't the greatest of those available. He shall now, for henceforth, be named Pickles. And we're also going to go ahead and recycle all of this equipment that we just picked up for tools. Recycle just about all the shields and armor. Got a peasant flail. We'll leave ourselves with shields in case it's busted. Let's see Hagup's perks. Probably bow mastery, dynamic duo. One ally within 2 tiles. It has no other ally within 2 tiles. It's complicated. Favorite enemy is archer. We're going to go with bow mastery. Less fatigue from using. View range and maximum firing range increased by 1. Which is really a big bonus there, I think. So we can buff ranged attack, initiative, ranged him. Then we have Pickles. Pickles made his first level with the company. I think the Colossus perk for him, their Phalanx, which gets us 5 melee defense per adjacent shield, wall, fellows. Colossus, in his case, would be a decent bump of hit points. He doesn't already have a buff on hit points, so we're going to go Colossus for Pickles. We're going to take the 4 buff in ranged attack, planning that we're going to also end up throwing weapons. We're going to take the 5 initiative. We're going to even out his defense. I think we're going to jump into camp overnight. We have 6 guys on salvaging. We also have 2 new guys. Definitely need arrows. We're going to take our top 3 arrows. Does it help if he's on here? So we get 2.2 an hour, 0.5 an hour. Take 2.5. We got 5 guys doing salvage. We got still 2 guys chilling out. So repairs will take care of himself. Good craft. I think that's what we're going to do. We'll craft the 2 potions. We're going to take one of our guys and drop him in there. Try to do both. Probably get one of those 2 crafts done. So let's decide which one it is. I think I want the poisoned oil. 5 hours. So we'll do a little scouting too. So we picked up 12 units of ammos. Pickles healed a point. Created 14 units of tools and used 3. Just double check that our archers are fully equipped, which they are. Got 81 food, 3 days. Let's take a quick look back at Kaltenhof. Make sure nothing else has popped up for us to do. I think we're going to grab the extra 50 ammo. I'm going to grab some goat cheese. These are good prices on copper ingots. I'm going to pick those up too. We're going to head for Hammerstead. Probably range up into the north a little bit. To see what we can discover. Perhaps get another beast for our record. Vision. We're at the very top of the map. It's a little interesting. There's not room for much the way it camps out here. We got some, what looks like a large undead party down to the south of us on the road. Looks like we're catching up to it. There's 17 undead. What are they fighting? Oh, they're fighting a Hammerstead company. Looks like they're going to take care of that. Don't really get much vision beyond the mountains. A little more map clearing. Drop down to town, see if there's anything doing. Hammerstead is a large city sheltering travelers and raiders from the snow and the cold. They recently had a warehouse burned down. What survived the fire is now sold at high prices. They're not going to give us anything for our copper. They have their own copper. Everything's like way overpriced. Nothing really interesting in the way of gear. They had a large contingent of hireable men here last time. We got a beast slayer. We have another sellsword. But they're out of our price range. Pulls the hunter. Take a look at the contracts. See what we can do for them. There's also an armorer. There's no real decent armor marketplace. The armorer is also pretty poorly stocked. Pass there. So the first contract, Held Gay of Hammerstead wants us to take a package back to Kaltenhof. She's going to pay us 70 crowns for. We'll take more. That's 80. We're going to accept it, but we're going to think about it because it doesn't really give us much cash to go in the other direction. One day costs us about 130 with the golden goose, 137. So we waste a day backtracking. I'm not sure it's worth the time. So a man fleecing a sheep looks over to you and a runt wiggling around. I should just eat this little bastard. Look at her go. Quit it, would you? He elbows the beast and it bleeds, cursing back with as much sapience as a sheep can muster. The man looks up at you again. Say, you're the sellsword everyone's been talking about. I should probably tell you, and I guess I will, huh? That bosun of Hammerstead's been looking for you. The sheep jumps in an attempted escape. The man slams her down. You little git, I'm gonna milk your tits dry if you try that again. I'm all ears. Bosun of Hammerstead grabs a chest off his shelf and puts it on his desk. When he opens it, a bevy of papers pop out. Almost scurrying to get free, he grabs one and lays it out. On one side, there's a contract. On the other, a small drawing of a map. It's simple, sellsword. I've been contracted to deliver some particular cargo to Elk Holtz. I have the goods, but I don't have the guards. If you're interested in being caravan guards for a time, maybe 3 days or so, let me know and we can hash out some numbers. What does it pay? He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is a good payment for the task. You'll receive 170 in advance and another 660 when the job is done. We need to be paid more. 180 and 740 when the job's done. We're going to accept that, but I also need some time to think about it. Because Eichholz, I think, hates us. So, yeah, that wouldn't work out too good. And I don't think I'm interested in wandering back to Kaltenhof for 80 crowns. Because we basically just made this circuit. So instead, and we're getting low on cash. So what we're going to do is say, second thought, I kid. And we're going to go into the marketplace and pick up a bit more food. It's 4 days. Maybe that's going to crash out on us. But it's not. Okay. Everything else seems sufficient. So we're going to take a run through enemy territory and try to pick off a caravan or 2 and see if we can. We find a kid wearing a rather opulent chain around his neck. It's so heavy his head is bent forward, but that minor struggle doesn't wipe the mile-wide grin off his face. Goblin pushes the kid down and takes the necklace. Where'd you get this? The kid cries out and tries to grab his treasure back, but he's about 3 feet and a good jump too short. Hey, that's mine. Give it back. Another kid comes over, flashing a large ring. It's pinching his fingers at once. All right, that's enough. The company fans out and eventually finds a dead merchant in some tall grass besides the tree line. His face is purple and jagged with broken bones. It appears he's been stoned to death. A group of about 40 or 50 youngsters appear from the tree line, each juggling a stone in their hand. Their leader, a little runt with red hair and sleeves of tattoos, asks what you want. You tell him that you'll be taking the merchant's good. The leader laughs. Boy, is that so? I'll give you 10 seconds to rethink that choice. Oh, I will, mister. We don't need the goods. Bad enough to take an injury when we're about to go hunting caravans. This is I think the necrophage. I know that was the necrophage. So let's cut down here and see if we can get any scouting on this. Figure out what's in there. Imagine it's the source of the undead that are wandering around. We're after more guaranteed profit. Got some tracks on the road. Probably peasants that are friendly. Never know. We're coming up on Heimstad. Oh, there's something that came off what looks like maybe bandit tracks. There's a larger party here. We've got a trading caravan, but it's an allied one. I'm going to swing around so we don't get the, hopefully get the local militia up on us. That same caravan. Got somebody out in the woods here. It's probably brigands. Maybe. One trading caravan. Got a pack of barbarian thralls. Sometimes they spit out good equipment, or good loot at the very least. So we're going to take them down. Some warhounds. We could use the payday. Gonna wait for them to close. Gonna advance this part of the line just a bit. A lot of war dogs. 1, 2, 3, 5 war dogs. Like the barbarian ASPCI. Alright, hound. Fancy footwork. One dog down. Oh, another. And another. we mostly have the thralls to left to contend with. That's a big hit. Half of his body armor. We're gonna let out our war dog of our own. Where's it gonna go? Good, right direction. We're gonna hold him and back off. Darling didn't through there too. Broker did. We're gonna I think bring it around. Better idea. Move forward, trying to kill the dog. Doesn't work. Her shield. We're gonna get down and stop some range attacks. Down. Big attack around next turn. Dog gets a kill. Totem, who has been known to have shaky resolve, being a bit of a chicken. Oh, that was silly. I was going to take that high ground. Two X-Men going at it. Long way around. Down through the ranks. Sometimes running out of gas. I think they're going to retreat. I don't think they're going to make it. He may. Rest her resolve is holding up as we surround her. Should get Tom out of there. Captivates her. Visual on him, but I think he's gone. Not bad. Couple scratches, but nothing significant. Most all of it went on armor too. Nothing special in the ways of armor. We did get some javelins. And we got 28 ammunition. We could. We got Totem up to 50 range. We have the possibility of maybe adding both of those, the axes and the javelins, to the mix. Let's see what we have. We got quite a few level ups. First off, our lowest level guys. Roger the Axe is made level 2. He also becomes a named man of the party, taking names from Glenn Cook's book, Black Company. Comes Jojo. And I think I'm out of names, so I probably shouldn't hire anybody else until I read a little more. Let's see what we have as base perks. How's it going, Sinus? Yeah, I think the desert one added some interesting stuff to it, and like decent equipment. There's generally 3 southern cities every time, and they have a different variety of gear and stuff. The Southern Mercenary start is pretty good. There's a couple of beasts that are, like the hyenas. I think everybody says is basically like a reskin of the dire wolves. There's a snake down there that it's kind of can be difficult because they can pull your guys. But there's also an arena where you can make some decent cash. I like it, and I think with this Legends mod that I'm running here, the equipment is extended even further, so you can get some nice like armor combinations down south. I'm not, I've been playing this game for years, and I tend to pick up the DLCs when they release them, just because I think they built a good game and whatever developer support. But I'm not 100% sure if everything that I ran through there isn't in the game if you don't buy the DLC. Like, I don't know if you don't get, say, the Southern Mercenary start, but it's probably, I think it's probably worth it, particularly in combination that some of the mods can extend it. I don't think the mods require it, but they may just add some like extra dashes and benefit to it. So that is my basic opinion. I'm going to grab Colossus for JoJo. So it's kind of interesting. You're the first person that actually pinged me from like both YouTube and Twitch. It tends to seem like folks are one or the other than both. So welcome to a unique club, it seems. We're going to bump his melee, his range, and kind of on the fence where else. We just gave ourselves a nice buff to health. I think we're going to go range just because he's underwhelming in that regard. Yeah, it always has been. And they're coming out. They announced like a free DLC just recently. Like they're coming out with one, I think if I saw it right, maybe March or so. I just like the replayability. It's kind of a, with the procedural gen to a degree, and with the variety of things that you can choose to, the starts and the origins and just the way things can go. It's like a procedural storyteller. I think I have something like silly like 1,200 hours in this game because it's been out so long. And I just find myself, I keep coming back to it. This Legends mod adds some cool stuff, like, and I think that has gotten me interested in it again. Like this layered armor system thing here, that it has, just more options. I think I'm at it from like a role playing kind of mindset. So the more options, the merrier for having each guy potentially have distinct armor sets and distinct skills. Kind of alley. That is a ton of hours. But I mean, the game's been out, what? I think it came out in 2015, so 7 years. That makes me feel less obsessive. I think it's probably the game of all my Steam library that I probably have the most hours in. If I were to go back and look, I put it down for a while every now and then and just come back. But let's see. So this is Goblin. Goblin is like a badass spear guy. 2 for 1, practice and spear handling. When using a spear, the action point costs of thrust, prong, and glaive slash are reduced by 1. That could be useful. We need to pick him up a better spear, though. Bestial Vigor. I think Berserk is just too powerful in this sense. That, like, refresh on kill has always worked out to make a strong perk. How are we going to buff Goblin? We're going to buff his fatigue, his ranged attack. So he can take advantage of getting attacks and hopefully kills. Got Darling in the back line. What are we going to do perks wise first? After landing a hit, the next attack this turn does 20% overall damage. It's going to be melee attack. Heavy rocks. Rain down arrows upon your enemies from a higher angle. When using bows, every attack, hit or miss, applies a stacking debuff on the target, reducing their melee skill and range skill. All right. Take it. And buffer range skill further. Or initiative. Solve. Knuckles. We're going to bump his fatigue, range skill, initiative. Do we get anything polearm worthy? This thing does count as a spear. So, endless training holding the line and spear wall. Costs 50% less, 25% action points, and does 25% damage. Could be a good thing. Instinct. Dodge. We have a lot of initiative. It could be a pretty good defensive perk for him being he's in the back line. And he has crappy defense as is. Let's give it a shot. Alright, repairs underway. Everybody's leveled up. We're an hour 42 in. Probably go for about another hour. The options to distribute these throwing weapons. So we have at least one guy, the Totem, probably worthy of adding some throwing weapons to the mix. We're off. So, kind of in the shit as far as enemy territory. So we're going to cut down and through, see if we can find a caravan. Need to go around Lorstead. It's still enemy territory down. We have enough food. That's a caravan, but it's a friendly one from the southern states. Don't really want to get caught at night in a swamp. There's a watchtower. Probably also don't want to run into. Skirt the edges of the swamp. We can. Yeah, we need to kind of get around that watchtower. So I'm going to go through the business here, see how it goes. This could be the end of this episode if we do the wrong thing. Or the end of this playthrough. There's a militia barracks too. Who's going to send folks at us? It could. We got a tasty trading caravan. Any caravan hands? We're in good enough shape. I think we should be repaired from that last battle. Nom, nom, nom. Nobody's coming out to help them. It's from Lorstead. Okay. They have no... Ooh, these guys are a little better equipped than we're used to running into. They got some fancy outfits. Alright. We're going to let them come. I don't think we need to go into spear wall or anything special just yet. See if they have to charge. Nobody with any real dangerous looking weapons, so we're probably just going to concentrate on the better armored of them first. Nice shot. We're going to take the higher percentage shot. Darling. 53, 54. See if we can get by this guy's shield. Dude. Hit him in the head. Pierce his cheek. And do a follow-up shot. Roughed him up good. Okay. Shots. See if we can get one on this guy in the lamellar. That took out his head. Again, getting a lot of headshots. Nice. Now we're going to go spear wall. Shield wall. We're going to hold 1, 2. They're not really going to be able to get there and attack. Send a bit of javelins into the mix. Really nice ranged damage to weaken these guys up. Totem hits his first thrown attack of his mercenary career. This is like their dashing leader. I think that's going to work out well for him. These guys are injured, so we're going to go after armor. Get a good hit on him from Knuckles. I think we're going to advance. Start wrapping around this side. And do a little spear wall because he has that skill where he can still spear wall while engaged. Pickles misses his 2 shots. 2 attacks. Back up doesn't miss his. Darling doesn't miss hers. Nice. The Caravan hand. Is he bleeding? Really need to get Elmo like a better main weapon. Good shots, Tom. They did not do a very fine job guarding their caravan. I'm gonna let the hounds loose. They're breaking. It looks like the hound wants to eat the donkey. It could be bad for the dog. Little tiny bit of damage, a little armor. There we go. Ooh, all right. All right. All right. Yeah, take it. And we got some of the Limlar armor. Both reinforced and otherwise. Thank you kindly. So, we'll equip this, separate that, equip this, separate that. We got repairs going on both of those. So, repairing them the same thing. About 1,600 in spices. That's not bad. All right, so now we want to kind of get through here without acting undue militia attention. Shadow the road. What's this? Hey now. Some mercenaries and a hedge knight guarding that supply caravan. Are we repaired? Mostly. We could try it. Mercenaries are potentially a fair bit better equipped than we are, but there's not that many of them. Because I think that number 6 includes the donkey. I think. I feel like that might be the green choice. Because a hedge knight could be a little bit of trouble too. Are you still out there, Sir Sinus? What do you think? You think we attack the supply caravan? Being that this could be the end of the YouTube playthrough if we do? Shadow him a little bit. We are going to attack him. We're going to attack him in the open. I think my greed may be a bit too overwhelming in this case. We're gonna go ahead and attack him. We can distribute this better armor first. What has he got on his 2 slide? He's got plate and bone, but it's beat. Guy doesn't have a 2 slot. He doesn't have a 1. It's gonna be easy or a disaster, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. It could be a disappointing end of the YouTubing too. However many hours we are in at this point to die for greed, which I suppose is a fairly standard decision that folks make at times. I think we're going to upgrade pickles. 579. Since Pickles doesn't have a base layer, we're going to give him better reinforced laminar. We're going to throw the leather laminar on top of Jojo. So we have a decent string. He's still the least armored of the bunch. We do have chainmail. We can throw his nomad robes. Like, that's one of those cool pieces of equipment that I was mentioning. It's like a fairly buff, low fatigue layer in this mod that comes out of the Southern Kingdoms. I think we're gonna take Hagoff's outer robe, throw it on Pickles, get him up to 150. That gives us still a pretty buff front line. And we're going to take on the mercenaries, and being that we're deserters and get to go first, we still have the option of running away. So yeah. Some mercenaries and a hedge knight. All right. My calculation was incorrect. There are 6 of them. The bill hook is potentially troubling, as is that big ass hedge knight. Crossbowman could be tough. Yeah, right? Like, wait a second. Where is the donkey? Like, where's my stuff? Was this just bait? I think I might have got like bait trapped. Quick hands, battle forge. He's got a net on him. And you know what? I think offhand, besides their helmets, they don't even really have much we need. He's got a nice axe. Yeah, where's your stuff? What shall we get if we do this? All right, so Man of Steel. I think we're gonna. Oh shit! Yeah, I just screwed up. Ooh, I just left Croaker behind. Shit. Like that means we have to fight. Shit. That was unfortunate. Haven't practiced running away well. Damn it. All right. I'm going to concentrate fire on that guy. We could die for greed. That was a bad hit. And back up into the mix. We're going to flank them. Kratos. He's on high ground with that bill hook. And get around to the crossbowman. That was rough. Barely touches him. Another barely nicked him. Crap. Not good. Just not good. Just not good. Gotta take an aim shot at this guy. Nice. Nice. Shot. Oh, Todd. Oh, no. Damn. Working his armor. We only have one more. I don't know, we have two. Don't kill us, don't kill us, don't kill us. Okay. Okay. He's right there. Dang. Breed and Battle Brothers does not mix. I'm gonna try to get to the high ground, improve some shots. Get a nice hit through from Knuckles. Knuckles is in trouble. We got some hits on JoJo. Don't really have a clean shot, so I'm going to position myself. So I do. 5%. Not all that good. We're going to get a little closer to try to improve that. I need to hit him in the head. Totem's rather well. Who did we lose then? We lost Goblin. Shit. So, I want to expose this Billman. Probably should go dagger. The armor piercing. Yeah, mistake again. Off his shield. Nice. That one didn't go though. Nice. 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 Fancy footwork. We're through his body armor. Most of his body armor there. So we just lost Knuckles. Dang, dang. Mine just broke. Oh, no, 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 no. We're winning. Oh, dude. Done. Really just trying to save JoJo's life. Didn't work. Nice. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, terrible. 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 Fellas. Our deserter background is coming back to haunt us. We need to go help. Just need to. It's the way of sword. Aim a shot. Come on. Oh. Terrible. 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 Yeah, that was rough. That was bad. I screwed that up. I should have just retreated, but I kind of spazzed. We survived. Is it worth it? That'll be the question. I mean, we lost some of our good guys. Elmo and Goblin were probably our two good guys. No, I think Elmo got his head cut off. He had 38 kills. Elmo was kind of a badass. Hey, those are the first deaths of this playthrough. That was rough. That was really rough. What was his loses a finger? Sad. It's a sad, sad day. Well, we get some good shit though. Son of a bitch. Greed. That was the problem, was chopping through that guy's headgear. We get the Bardich. Dang. All I gotta say to that was dang. That's Elmo's armor, son's head. Goodness gracious. Oh, God. So that was, I think that was 2 of our OG deserters, too. Damn it. Damn it. That. No, good turn. Delete the last 3 items in your stack. Yeah, that's because one of our guys went down who had a bag. I don't think that's going to affect us, but just in case, let's make the last 3 items stash happy. See how it goes. Well, I was running out of Black Company names, so we got a couple back. 257 hit points and 258 armor. And now my guys are disgruntled. I wonder if we'll lose some too. Yeah. We got messed up. Let's close ranks. We need healing. We need to fix up. We need shields. These 2 guys get these shields. Whew. Man. Did get some tin agates and some peat bricks and some cooking spices. Got a lot of valuable stuff out of that. Oof. Greed always leads you wrong. Got that tower shield. What are guys doing? Wise. We give you a kite shield. Kite shield. After going through that, losing a finger. We need to reshuffle. That's 212 total. It's 180. It's 192 total. Male coif. So of our guys, I think One Eye is the only remaining OG deserter. Oh no. Yeah. Broker too. Okay, so we still have 2 of the original guys surviving. 135 is his current stack. I don't know if I want to go 16 fatigue loss on that. Just between one of them. We're just going to base it on available fatigue. Man, we got messed up. I have been looking for a better axe, but the axe died in the process. Jojo and Pickles are still on axe. Sure, 165 stack. 212, 192. 150. 180. 182. I think we're just going to do a little armor rotation. 165. Make that 170. 321, what do you got? After we're repaired, we'll have decent equipment. That was a mess. Dumb. 50. Put a repair on that. Use it. Repair on that because we can use it. Equip it. We'll get it fixed on the road. What we got here? Anything good? Good? Yeah. Shirt. Repair. 50. 50. Better condition. Hey. We'll do some more swapping around when we're repaired. And now we got Pickles. Let's see what we're gonna give him level wise. So he's got a Colossus. He's sort of axe inclined. Though we can make him a spear waller. We need another spearman since we lost one. That's what we're gonna do. And upgrade his fatigue. Ranged attack. Resolve. Because we had some guys break that time and that wasn't ideal. Rotate over to spear. Start spear and be able to go to axe. And get him on flank. Totem on the other. We did get some gear, so I suppose the supply caravan doesn't need a donkey. Good to know. Now, that Bardich, kind of badass, but we got nobody that's out there swinging one-handed. Can throw it on. How bad does that hurt his? 75, 71. We're going to throw it on him and see if we can gain any value out of the back end. I'm going to do the same with the bill hook. And the same with the wharf work. So we can find some more guys who fill some of those roles. We really just need to lick our wounds and repair. Equipment wise, we have 18 tools. I think we probably need more than that. But I think we're going to try to get out of Dodge, and that was rough. Yeah, we're going to try to get out of Dodge back to Tabamoose and sell some of our ill-gotten goods. Because although we are diminished, we should end up fairly wealthy. We cross into a small hamlet beside the path. It's a rather nondescript place, save for the woman tied atop a soon-to-be bonfire. She's surrounded by a band of peasants, as is usual for a woman in this position. A monk from the mob reads from a holy tome, apparently letting everyone know the dentological nature of her crimes. Another man dutifully stands by with a torch, his hands itchy to put it to use. Seeing you, the woman shouts for help. They're going to burn me. You must do something. We are a mess and just need to heal, so we got to deal with our own problems, lady. So how's Tabamusa's wealth? 52%. Not 100% sure what that modifier does, but hopefully they'll have some cash for some of our goods. We are now out of tools, so we should probably do a fair bit of recycling. Which one of these guys? He's an axeman. He's main axe, so we're going to give him the hand axe. We don't need the secondary. Having a Darga shield too. Pick the Darga shield. So we're gonna get in here. Hopefully be a little bit safe. It's already dawn. Let's just go see what we can do with cash as opposed to camp. They're giving good price on our tin, good price on our peat, good price on our cooking spices, and our furs, and our ingots. So wealth. Not bad. That seems to have been worth the price of admission. Tools and supplies we can pick up for near market. Is there a temple here? There is not. Take a look at the mission. Still a little messed up. Alright, so not sure if the moral of that story is that greed is bad or good, but certainly did end up kind of rich. Sacrificed 3 guys in the process. Yeah, hashtag rich boys. I think up to the north there were some better, or at least more interesting characters, like a sellsword, pricier fellows that we might want to try to go get. We can look at these contracts, but unless they're like, take a package, not sure we're in the shape. Dead man walking around to the southeast to here, his rotten hands clutched an extraordinary weapon. Might be fascinating before. So, they also have a cultist procession. As a procession of cultists going through the city, a steady stream of people seemingly manifested themselves out of thin air and now slowly makes their way along the main roads. Clad in muted colors, they ring bells and chant monotonously in the name of Dav Kul. Alright. Good to know. This Beastmaster guy. We've had decent luck so far in the party with lumberjacks. This Beastmaster guy could be something. He's 300 to try out. We are rich, but he would come in at level 3. He looks like more of an archer, and we still We're probably more in need of frontline replacements than we are archers. I think, honestly, I'm going to purchase a batch of 2 batches of tools. We're going to jump out and jump into camp. We're just going to rest like a day because we have 32 hours of salvage to do, 28 hours of repairs, 20 hours of healing. So I'm going to move our 2 best healers. Our 2 best healers also have to be our 2 best repairers. And have 3 on salvage. That's 19, 12, 19, and 28. So we're going to move 1 healer over to salvage. It's 24, 16, and 19. I think we're just going to rest it and see if we can get ourselves back a little bit in order. Food's okay. Working on our gear. Doesn't seem like it's advancing. In this mod, I think those percentages of what you get done in a camp are always a little bit wonky. It might be that we're also repairing at the same time that we're salvaging. We created 53 units of tools. We used 62. We healed our guys. Let's take a look at the condition that we're in now. We should still have some injuries. We still have a bit of stuff. So we have this 30 outer layer. I think it's going to end up on Agop. And then we can drop some flame on top. Drop some flame on top of Croaker. Added a basic male shirt. You can drop guys are both running the Nomad. They're all running Nomad. We're going to give Croaker a better base layer. So we nearly recycled everything. I think we're going to distribute a bit more ranged weapon. Stash of arrows is good. Instermark has a temple. Just see what this contract is. Over shit giggles. Guys, push them in. Friends. Orange and 1 punch. Brettery, the Burgermeister's men standing around. Their employer shoos him away when he sees you and says, "Welcome, welcome. Good seeing you. I'm in need of an armed guard to have this package delivered by a man of sorry, running out of reading juice. It's 2:30 in. This is about usually where I can cut it off. I reckon it's about 2 days of travel for a company as your. How many crowns? 300 crowns to go 2 days for you. I think it's worth it. So I'm going to run them up to Finstermark because there's a temple there. Let's just see if we can get the guys healed. Day 43. Probably not be that reckless, just buzzing up the road. We can always run into some mercenaries hunting us for our misdoings. We're going to heal everybody. This is a larger town. Hopefully find maybe somebody to add to the party to replace our losses. We're 3 down time. Nobody super impressive. We could do Lando just for the Star Wars rep. Dude, the hit sounds interesting. I think we're gonna take any of those options. Should be able to armor up another frontline guy pretty easy here. This kettle helm could be decent. Probably better than some of the stuff we are running. Pretty much across the board. Not a separate armor. Basic mail shirt. Just going to pick up the kettle helm. Tom deserves that one for losing a finger. You know, we could grab one of these lumberjacks, other two, some of the town, and just give them a bard each and tell them to go to town. Try to give them all axe buffs. I think we're going to make that decision next time. We're 236 in. That's about what I like to try to keep these two. And we'll check out that contract next time. We'll find out that Keltenhoff's been raided. Any good trade goods here? If it's been raided, we might be able to sell them some wood. But we're going to leave that to figuring out the next time we come back. So, if you're watching now, if you're still out there, Sir Sinus, appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to chat and to watch the stream. Or if you're watching these later on BOD or YouTube, I always appreciate the follows or the subscriptions, or even just a comment to let me know that it's interesting and it's worthwhile. I mostly do it just because I enjoy playing the game and kind of enjoy sharing it with other folks. So, have a good one, man. I'm sure I'll see you around. Have a happy night.